So, hello everyone. My name is Tom. I'm very happy to share my global business plan with you. During this semester, I learned a lot about global investment, and I hope to apply this knowledge and get good result in the assignment of global business plan. The theme I choose is still related to early education because this is the direction of my future employment. If you look at my previous presentation, you will know something. This time, my investment project is to promote early education in Ghana. This may sound unrealistic or even strategy to some extent, but I have my own reason. Ghana is a country that impressed me in the global case study in recent years. Ghana's economic development and investment in cultural and educational industries have also been changing the future of this country. So I choose this project. I hope that you can greatly understand my idea in my presentation. So, okay, let's get started. So here is my presentation. The topic is investment for Ghana's future early education. The first page is contents. It has a description, business potential, risk analysis, problems, preliminary business plan, final business plan, and summary. It's necessary to understand the background and advantage of the industry before establishing a global economy plan. Early education broadly refers to the education from the birth of a person to the previous stage of primary school. The neuroscience mainly refers to the early learning at the above stage. It was noticed that it's not only an industry in development countries. Early education cultivates and the competitiveness of the next generation, which is extremely important of the development of every country or region. Here is the name I have designed of our early education project in Ghana. Is called Gold Baby. Ghana's economy is growing rapidly and people's demand for service is growing. Among them are the early education industry. Ghana has a representative star that is want to learn from China. China's emphasis on early education is evident. The hope of country's future development depends on the children. Ghana's business potential and investment prospects are marketable in Africa region. Consider the GDP growth. The countries with the resulting economic growth in 2018 are developing countries, and Ghana got the first position. On the other hand, the significant growth of the population of Ghana has also laid the foundation for education needs. FDI is also a part that must be considered. Although Ghana failed to rank in the top 25 on the FDI list, it did not hinder its correctiveness of foreign investment. The rapid development of the oil industry and GDP growth have made Ghana top in Africa. When investment in developing countries and large economies is weak, the markets of the third world countries undoubtedly have great apparel of commercial potential. The risk considerations for the investment are mainly divided into 4 areas: political risk, economic risk, legal risk, and cultural difference. As we discussed in previous discussion, the production problem in Ghana is still an important part of political risk today. Even for the national lifeline of Ghana, the petroleum industry is a problem that needs to be solved urgently. Therefore, corruption must not be ignored when considering political risk. Ghana's economy is developing rapidly, but is mainly depending on the economy of the oil industry. The country's poverty problem remains significant. The legal risk of the investing in Ghana is small. In recent years, Ghana has been commanded of developing an economy and the encouraging foreigner direct investment. Investment law and intellectual property law are friendly to international investment. There are many ethnic groups in Ghana, and the integration of multiculturalism means that the people of Ghana have a strong adaptability and tolerance. In addition, agricultural traditions have made the Ghanaian people accustomed to be ruler of the age division. That is, older people in organizations are often considered to have authoritative words. The three most important issues found in Ghana's investment are poverty, corruption, and infrastructure issues. We have already talked about the first two. As for infrastructure issue, many people may think that it has a little to do with educating investment, but in fact, the infrastructure situation represents the economy level of a country, and the infrastructure also including the material condition and the facility of the education industry. The lack of this, that is, Ghana is a manifestation of the depending economy and uneven industrial development. So here we come to the preliminary business plan. Preliminary business plan. So I do the analysis of cultural factors. First, language. As with many ex-colonies in Africa, the official language of Ghana is a colonial language, in English. And other 9 languages have the status of government-sponsored language. So therefore, the early education employee needs to acquire some of these 9 languages in order to motivate their service in some tribal areas. Then the society and culture. Ghana is a multi-ethnic country with a strong emphasis on family relations and family obligations, which are the main source of identify, loyalty, and responsibility. In addition, Ghana pursues a hierarchy in which people are respected for their age, experience, wealth, and strength. Older people are considered wise and respect. The promotion of our service need to target parents on the older first. Then the older could mobilize others to join, which will more efficient. Based on the analysis above, I decided to choose the localization strategy and global standardization strategy for our investment. The reason why we announcing the culture characteristics and the cultural difference of Ghana is to formulate a corresponding strategy according to the local market demand in Ghana. This is in line with the requirements of a localization strategy. What's more, controlling cost of any time in an integral part of business development. The reason why we localization strategy and the local standardization strategy are combined instead of choosing the transnational strategy is because our current investment plan cannot meet the needs of the foster of multi-direction flow of skill between different subsidiaries in the former global network of operations. Although I have chosen Ghana as the target country for investment, the choice of specific investment area still require careful decision. Our investment in Ghana will be in the core city at first, which will help us quickly absorb customer and understand the country's market demand. So after all, investment in education is a spiritual need, and it should impact among customers with a certain income and a material base. The analysis of the possibility of Ghana investment success is like this. In fact, developing countries will pay more attention to investment in education, in view of the paid development of Ghana in recent years. The needs of the people of the country have gradually risen to the level of education and culture. At this time, investment in educational product is a better choice. We can grab the feeling that Ghana wants to learn from developing countries and developing countries such as China, and publics the future development opportunities that early education brings to these countries. So right now we come to the final plan. I performed the joint venture entry model. In the previous case study of Starbucks, we mentioned that joint venture model can help companies reduce investment risk by sharing costs in an uncertain market situation. In addition, joint venture sometimes means smaller government policy restrictions due to the participation of local companies. As a survey industry, this also applies to early education company. As for the conflict of opinion that will arise in the West, it can be solved by adding additional particles. So this is a statistical map of the Ghanaian labor market and educating based on world data. So from this, we can see that the number of labor in Ghana is growing steadily year by year, so which show the prosperity of the labor market. In addition, the ratio of primary school students and teachers in Ghana has gradually declined in recent years. This shows that the number of primary school teachers is increasing, and it means an increase in the number of labor involved in early education. So what's more, from 2000 to 2010, there was a cliff-like decline in literacy rate in the country, which proved the government's emphasis on education and the relative improvement of the country's labor quality. Overall, investment means we need to consider staff requirement issue and human resource management issue. So I plan to use the model of expatriate executives, local employee in the early stage. The salary system used the balance sheet approach for expatriate and local compensation system for local employees. In the later stage, we could develop a local senior manager based on the company's development. The compensation of local executiveness is also compensated according to the local compensation system. Employee healthcare benefit needs to be specifically considered in light of the Ghanaian government and the requirements on the competitors. The issue of employee holiday needs to take into account in the reference of religion and local culture activities, taking vacation-related vacation into the scope of employee benefit. The plan for investing in early education, which in Ghana takes into account the country's economic development and the government's according towards education. We have adopted a localization strategy that seeks to adapt our early education service to the needs of local people. We plan to invest in employee projects in relatively developed regions such as the capital of observe market demand and gain experience. In order to ensure the implementation of service, we choose to hire local experienced primary school teachers of a related private nation to make the early education curriculum and the primary school curriculum perfect connect. We have developed a human compensation system and a benefit plan for our employee. At the same time, we provide more favorable salary conditions for experienced executives. The success of the investment is a result of the combination of all the above business consideration. So this is the end of my presentation, and here's the reference. So thank you for your attention and wish you have a good week. Thank you.